Ladies and gentlemen, this subject is one of the most enjoyable subjects to talk about because it has so many areas you can start with, discuss, confront, attack, dissect, because we're talking about humans. Family dynamics relies on a lot of things. It relies on culture, it relies on personality, it relies on age, it relies on gender, it relies on social norms, it relies on finance. All of these things will have an effect in terms of family dynamics. In a business, it's very easy. You have, in a diagram, you have a box, the boss, in the dotted line, in a straight line, to the juniors, and a straight line to their juniors, and so on and so forth. And it's very easy to find a way from person A to person B. You're going through these certain lines where you know what to expect and what should be done and who to talk to. The family dynamics, on the other hand, is dotted lines. And the reason they're dotted lines is because they can have an effect where you can bypass all the structure. I'll give you a case in point. Husband and wife having 2 kids. One a girl, one a boy. Or let's make it a bit more simpler. Husband and wife having 2 kids, both of them boys. The elder is not exactly the brightest bulb in the chandelier. The second one is an extremely smart person. Natural tendency of the father is to support and promote the one who is doing the most work and getting the best results, which is usually, let's say, go with the smart one. Social norm says, no, you have to protect and upgrade the eldest. Again, it depends on the culture, it depends on society, and it depends on the geography. But overall, there are some places where meritocracy is a bit more accepted, and other places where meritocracy is a secondary issue. It's more of a age issue. So the father will give more attention, more responsibility, more authority to the younger one because he is a better person in terms of the business requirements than the eldest. This would be the end of it if it was a regular business. But what will happen? And this is where the dotted line comes in. So there'll be a lot of lunch and dinners and sit-togethers and get-togethers where the parents with the kids will be sitting together and talking. Now, obviously, the elder one who's not getting the attention, who's not getting the opportunities, who's not getting the what he perceives as respect, the position that he thinks he's entitled to, will start complaining. If he complains to his father will shut him down immediately. Because he thinks you're not producing, you're not effective, you're not producing the results I need, so therefore don't come talk to me. What will he do? He will go and start to complain to the mother. What would the mother do? You think that she likes the idea of her kids being unequal? Do you think, and it is a potential tendency of mothers to favor, some mothers will favor the youngest, and some mothers will favor the eldest. To see one of her kids being put down or distraught because he can't get things done, or is not taking the same light as his other brother, she won't accept it. But usually, and the smart ones, will not fight in the congregation. But they will find the time when the husband is the most vulnerable. And the most vulnerable time of a husband is when he's about to sleep. That's why it's called pillow talk. She will tell him, her husband, why are you doing this to our eldest? Why are you not supporting our eldest? Give him, she's not saying take away from the youngest, but she's saying give more responsibility to the oldest. Let the oldest do something. Let him feel better. I want him to feel better. Don't make me angry. Now, some husbands might fight it out initially, and the smart ones will give in because it's not worth it. You're not going to win. And what will happen is that the husband will start to, in order to please his wife, give some responsibility, some authority, and push the elder into the prominence which he was not getting before. The two things that will happen from this. The young one, if he feels that he is superior to the eldest, will be resentful. Why are you giving the person who doesn't deserve this that position? And you will demotivate him. The eldest, who feels, aha, finally somebody that now realizes my worth, when he's not good enough, will go and start creating destruction because he has a belief in his self-worth that is more than what it really is. So I've demotivated the person who actually does the business and motivated the person who should not be motivated in terms of taking risks, etc., because he or she is not qualified. That is family dynamics in action. There are a lot more examples I can give you in that. I can add a lot more. It's a lot of fun talking about it. Not necessarily living it, but talking about it. Because all things that we talk about or we live through will have an effect. As I said in the previous podcast, imagine one who has no kids and one who has several kids. Imagine one who is married, again, depending on where you are, with several wives, or married and divorced, but still the previous wife is still living off of him. And I can get into the nuances of this. Imagine someone who, the in-laws, how do they affect the family dynamics? You have all of these things coming into play. And when they do, they could be a spark that ignites something positively or negatively. I had a situation where I was in a family business event, and without mentioning the name of the company, an American company was being represented by two women and a man. The man was the husband of one of the women there. And he was talking about family business and the issues of family business and the issues of the family as an in-law. Now I'm from the Arabian Gulf, the Arabian Peninsula. So I'm thinking in my head, in our part of the world, we'd never accept that the in-law talks on our behalf of the family. And I was looking at I had a cousin and a couple of friends there. And we're all looking at one another, we're all snickering because we thought, how quaint that a in-law is talking on behalf of the family, not the business, the family, as in what are the family doing, what the family achieving, how are the family, what are the family dynamics that are happening between them. And I thought, again, perhaps this is just a regional issue within where I come from. They stopped talking, question and answer, and the woman in the back, her hand shoots up. They ask her, yes? And she goes, I have a comment, not a question. She goes, I'm from Finland, and I cannot think of a place more characteristically different from this region than Finland. But she said, in Finland, we would never allow the in-laws to talk on our behalf. You can see the family dynamics in this. In some parts of the world, the in-laws play a role. They have an effect. They're part of the family dynamic. In other parts of the world, they don't, or they're not allowed to. So we can see how this plays on the overall structure of the family business. I will add one more thing, which you might not think of. But every family member in a family business has what I believe was called, I don't want to use this word because I don't want to use the word that most people use, but because it's a derogative term. But they have a person who just follows them, their puppy, their man, their woman, whatever you want to call it. There's their person. They will do everything for them. They will run, and they're not necessarily a family member. But if they feel that their family member who they're championing is being harmed, they also play on this dotted line if they have the ability to. They are a counselor, they are an advisor, and they will go to the person who's in charge and make the case for the one that's being harmed, that he is championing. This also is an issue in family businesses. If I add that that person has been in the family friend, if you want, or a family business for the last 30 years, 40 years, he or she has weight when they talk, and they can screw up the dynamics because they're not looking at it purely in terms of the benefit of the company. They're looking in terms of the benefit of the championing the person they're championed. That is a problem. Another thing are yes men within organizations. And yes men, we think, usually are outside of the family. You can have yes men inside the family, and they affect the dynamics. It spoils everything or supports certain people in a certain direction. I have sat at board meetings where one person, theoretically a board is made up of independent people who think, because they shouldn't be on the board if they don't think things through. And they have a fiduciary duty to protect all the shareholders, in this case, if it's a family business, all the family members. But what they will do through this dynamic they have outside of the board, it might be a father-son. It might be a brother-sister. It might be just a person who's afraid. While he or she is on the board, instead of fighting for what is right, because of the family dynamic that's happening in the background, they'll acquiesce to what's bad for the business just to please person X. This is a massive problem. Again, most people think yes men are outside, i.e. not family members. But you have family members who are yes men. And they are dangerous, because an externally yes man is a person you can shut the door to. An internal one is a person you can't, unless you have it in your dynamics and your structure that you can. It's very rare. What do you do when a person, just because they don't think, don't want to think, don't take actions, don't want to take an action, want to please, will acquiesce to what is bad for the business or what is bad for the family? Family dynamics is one of the most enjoyable things to look at from a third party, from a position outside, third person's perspective. I'm sitting outside, I can see this, I can see how it's all playing out. Problem is, if you're inside of it, family dynamics can be either a great shield or it can be a great weapon against you. Imagine, and this is important, business is a battle. So I need to prepare myself, have the weapons, have the protection to go out to fight. Now, in order to fight, I want to have as light a weight as possible on me so that I'm more agile. And to do that, I need to have no armor on my back. So I have armor in the front, I have my weapons, carrying my weapons and my shield, and I'm going to fight. But my back is open because it's lighter that way, and I have more ability to be agile and dynamic. Because I am relying on my family member to protect my back. In the family dynamics, if those family members are the ones stabbing you, even poking you, not stabbing you, but just poking you, no matter how much you want to attack the front, i.e. go up against the competition, all you're going to be thinking about is internal and what are members of my family doing behind me, rather than going out to the front and fighting. So family dynamics can have a significant effect on your business and can have a significant effect on your own personal life. Being aware of those things gives you a better chance of succeeding. Being blind to it, no, he's my brother, he'll never do that to me. No, she's my sister, she'll never do that to me. No. Being blind to that is a downfall very quickly. And I'm not going to suggest this, but I'm just going to give you a part of history. The Ottoman Empire, for all terms and purposes, you can call it a family business. It's an empire, but it's a business. Whenever one of the brothers succeeded and became the next Ottoman Sultan, his first job was to kill all of his siblings, male siblings, because they were the ones threatening him with legitimately threatening him with taking over his position. If he was generous, he'd put him in a nice little palace and never let him out. So it was a beautiful golden prison. If he was ungenerous, he'd kill him. This way, nobody could threaten him. This is family dynamics to the extreme, but it's family dynamics. I'm not suggesting that, ever. But I want you to understand that the biggest threat in structures of a family might not necessarily be external, but rather internal. If you're aware of it, you have a better chance of surviving and prospering. If you're not aware of it, no. I look forward to seeing you as a footnote in history. Take care.